Hello, good evening. It's Friday evening, everyone. Chris Hughes here from Rebound at Upstreamedia YouTube channel. I'm really excited to welcome tonight's guest, Greg Poleon. Welcome, Greg. Hope you're well. How you doing?
How we doing? How you doing? I'm good, man. How you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So usually we have to guests on, we sort of have a little talk off camera before, but we had a bit of audio issues and stuff, and but we're all ready for the show. I say I'm not too bad myself. Doing this daily
Sure.
show is definitely busy, and it's giving me something to talk about and learn a bit more about the game, more about players. And so I'm
hmm
really looking forward to talking to you today about Hemel and your basketball journey. I'm sure you've got a great story to tell.
Yeah.
Um, I thought maybe just start sort of what you've been up to the last few days, how you're getting on, and all things. Great.
Man, everything is going well. The situation is unfortunate, obviously, but I think I've been handling it pretty well. I've still been working out as much as I can, staying fit, staying active. Um, I've tried to get into gyms here and there. Little like short little training sessions here and there, stuff like that. So it's been good. I've been home, helping my little brother out, helping my mother out, my father out, stuff like that. So I'm glad to be home and safe, stuff like that with my family. So yeah,
Definitely. I think you were one of the first guys in the NBA to get back after the season finished. So it's really great hearing that you
yeah,
guys were able to get back, be your
yeah,
families. Obviously, a great sign of a great franchise that acted
right.
swiftly to ensure that your safety was foremost. So it's great that you're on here, and I
Right.
hope your family's well. I say we were just talking to say the opportunity we get having a show to come on talks. Usually I'll be working in my day job, but obviously things change. I've got a health condition, so I've been strictly isolated. And I say we've all had to adapt. It's good to see that you say you're able to at the gym, do a bit
Right.
of workout. The
Right.
advice is a little bit different. I'm sort of not allowed to jump, but I went out for a walk yesterday. So it's sort of the advice is you've got a garden, you can use it. And I say for you guys, you've got something nearby to use about what's open and what's not. So for me, it was really important to get out there, get an exercise. I thought maybe we'd start with your basketball journey, how it was sort of growing up in New York. So
hmm
that was a really good experience, something you could talk about. Speak to you.
Yeah.
What sort of formed you as a person, want to be a basketball player, I guess.
All right. So I started playing basketball when I was 14. I was actually a baseball player. Uh, Leading up to that, I mean, I played baseball all the way up to high school. So I ended that when I was 17. I went to the prominent school of Abraham Lincoln. Do you know what that is? You ever heard of that school?
No, no, fair enough.
Lance Stevenson went. Lance Stevenson went there. Stephon Marbury went there. Sebastian Telfair went there, and a bunch of other pro athletes and wonderful college players. And it's a really reputable program. So I started out there, played. It was tough. What I'm saying? I wasn't as talented as I am now. It took a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and I got to where I'm at now. My journey was pretty different. I went to two different colleges. So I went to a 2-year college first, a JUCO. You know what that is? Familiar with that? I went to that school. I went to Coffeyville Community College, where I actually won the what was it? I'm actually looking at it right now. I won the KJCC, our region tournament championship over there after my sophomore year, and then after that, I transferred to Pace University in New York and helped the team. We're actually in rebuilding stage, so we went from, I think it was like a losing record to a winning record. So we made the playoffs my last year there, and I helped them build into a better program, and then from there on,
Def-
you know, I'm a professional. Yeah.
Definitely. And I say I can see all your medals and trophies behind you. And obviously, you're looking off camera for
believe,
something there.
believe it or not, it's not even my trophies. That's my little brother's trophies. He's the baseball player. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? Yeah, that's all his trophies. My trophies is up in front of me
wow.
right here. Above. Yeah, that's all his trophies. Yeah, he's a
So
beast. He's a beast. Yeah,
what made you switch from baseball to basketball? Would you say you were sort of baseball
honestly,
player
man.
first, and
Oh man, my father was big on us playing baseball. He loved the sport. He's an old guy, old fashioned kind of guy. Father and son kind of game. I kind of outgrew it, man. Once I saw that ball dribble and I actually played that game, man, it was something different. It had a different effect on me. I feel like I fell in love with it. I genuinely loved the game, and because of that, I had to kind of let him know, like, yo, Dad, I don't want to play this anymore. I want to play basketball full time. And once I started to play it full time, I started to excel at it differently. You know, I started to take it more seriously, and it just made me a better player. You know, and I fell in love with it, man. I
Definitely.
really did. Yeah, sure.
I say it's a unique sport. I think basketball. It's so easy to get vets to love it lots. Say it's high energy and then always something going on.
For
Obviously a little
sure.
bit different type of sport. So definitely. Were there any sort of when you growing up in New York? Were there any sort of basketball players you looked up to? Sort of how you made the switch?
I
Um,
mean, going to Lincoln, I mean, you had a bunch of people you looked up to. You had Lance Stevenson I looked up to. I had a bunch of just household names, within the city. You had Chuck Floyd, you had just a bunch of legendary kind of guys that you saw played in the PSAL or within the league that we played in, and you was like, yo, I want to be just like him. You know what I'm saying? I want to be similar to him. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's so many. It's the alumni that's coming from New York or from Brooklyn, New York. It's so big. You have so many people you look up to. So I can't even really name all of them. It's like a whole list.
uh,
Yeah, it's crazy.
that, that must be a crazy experience. Was there when you look back in that time and maybe sort of a few snippets, what sort of stood out for you in that time as the most sort of craziest moments or moments you
Oh
look on
man.
most fondly?
So I know you're familiar, basketball, AAU trips and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit, but maybe for people
So
who don't, some people might not know.
okay, so basically how it works is AAU programs is over the summer, right? So I played for Juice All Stars, which was also kind of like connected to Lincoln, right? So what happens is we usually travel, to different states to play in different tournaments, right? So we go to, for example, a big tournament could be like an ATL, Atlanta. We could go all the way to Milwaukee. We could go all the way to Florida, to play these games. Well, it was a bunch of different things going on. I made millions of friends, bunch of friends. The stories, the amount of fun that we had on those trips was like legendary. But I'll never forget when during high school we used to travel a lot too because we was a nationally ranked team. We had a nationally ranked player on our team, Isaiah Whitehead. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He went to Seton Hall, really good player. He went to the NBA. He's doing well. So we traveled to Florida, right? And we played against Mount Verde Academy, right? Number one team in the nation at the time. They had Ben Simmons, they had D'Angelo Russell, a slew of other Division One players, and we actually went overtime with them, right? Crazy story. I couldn't play in the game because I left my jersey home.
No.
We're in Florida. We're in Florida, and I'm looking for my jersey right before the game. I'm looking for my jersey. I'm looking for my jersey. I'm looking for my jersey. I'm like, I can't find my jersey. Mind you, we were an Under Armour team, so we had multiple jerseys. We had like 3 jerseys for some reason, 3 different type of uniforms. So it was a white one, a gray one, and a blue one. I left the blue one home. I had the shorts, but I left the blue one home. So I called my mom, like, Ma, I didn't pack it. She's like, wow. Called my dad. Dad's like, yeah, it's over. My coach calls my mom and my dad, like, yeah, your son's, irresponsible, giving them the whole, and I end up paying one of my teammates for his jersey. Right? I paid him for one of my jerseys and I end up not even playing. The coach played me, whatever. He didn't even play
Oh,
me at all. Like I didn't get no playing time against Ben Simmons. I'm talking about it was like a legit, matchup. And we went to overtime with them. We ended up losing by 2. Unfortunately, it was a heartbreaker, but it showed how tough we were. A public school playing against a nationally ranked team like that. It was definitely a great experience. Traveling, seeing all those players. I mean, Jalil Okafor was in the gym. Jalen Brown was there. Ben Simmons was there. A bunch of other. It was a great experience, man. One of a kind. But I missed out on being on the floor with those guys because I left my jersey home. So it was tough, man. It was tough.
Def,
Sure.
and Def, I'm sure that experience sort of taught you a valuable lessons not to leave
Man,
your jersey
listen, every
behind.
time I pack my bag, like I double check it, make sure my sneakers in there, my uniform's in there, and I'm good to go. And not only that, nowadays the managers carry the uniforms with them, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm good. Thank God for that. Thank God for the managers.
Uh,
For real.
One less worry
For
to
real.
have. Um,
For real, yeah.
I say you talked a bit about how your time pace you turned it around. Obviously, you're club captain second year, and you really
Yeah.
impressed on the floor.
Hmm.
How was that experience for you? What were some of the highlights for you that you sort of hold on
Uh, at,
to say?
at Pace University?
Mm.
At Pace University?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at
Yeah.
this university, it's really known for its education. It's really big education. And when I got there, they were trying to change the perception. You know what I'm saying? When I got there, the perception was, just a bunch of rich, white kids. Is what they like to say, rich white kids that are, very fortunate, got nice facilities. It's a very nice facility and all that type of stuff, but not really a winning record, not really people who really want to play. When I got there, I kind of brought that demeanor, that Brooklyn mindset is what people call it, but that hunger, that want to get better every single day, and it kind of rubbed off on everybody else. So I don't know if you know if I'm following them now, but they recently still doing well because when I got in there, it was a bunch of freshmen coming in there as well. And I was kind of the older guy, I was a junior, and they kind of followed my lead a little bit, you know what I'm saying? In terms of how I approached the game, how I worked hard every day at practice and things of that nature. Granted, they were very talented players. I'm not taking that away from them, but I felt like I kind of rubbed off on them and showed them like, you know, no matter what, you still got to work hard. You still got to put your head down and grind no matter what. So for those 2 years, it was tough, man. We didn't win a lot of games. We lost a lot of close games, a lot of games that went down by we lost by 2 or 5, whatever the case may be. But we grinded it through. And my senior year, it all paid off because we made it to the playoffs, second round of the playoffs. Lost to actually, I think the second team within that league, the second best team within that league. And yeah, man, it was great. You know what I'm saying? Just to see all our work finally pay off. And nobody expected us to make it that far as well because Pace is not really known for being a good, tough sports program in that sense. So that was definitely a big highlight for me, man. Definitely going to a winning record my senior year, averaging the points that I was averaging, being the team captain, handling all the things I was handling, and also graduating as well. That was a blessing as well. So yeah, it was great. It was great. Great experience.
Definitely. It's doing a lot of things and being from a fan perspective. It's definitely the message of working hard definitely comes through quite a lot from either the guests on my show, guests on other shows.
Mm,
And often
yeah.
people sort of say maybe the British youngsters may come over to America that have the talent may not work as hard. I was wondering, when did that sort of work hard ethos get fed to you? Was it like during school, or was it when you sort of
Mm.
transitioned to basketball? And why do you think it makes it so important to work hard for you?
I mean, I feel like I've been working hard my whole life, man. Work hard in everything, in every sense. Nothing was really given to me, growing up. I wasn't like one of those kids that came out the womb that was just like, athletically gifted and all that. Like I was tall, but I wasn't never really like, athletically gifted kind of guy. So I was always playing catch up no matter what. Even in baseball, I was always playing catch up.
Yeah,
I never started out being the best. So from my mom and my dad, I see them, always going to work constantly every single day, never really complaining about everything, giving me and my brother everything that we needed. It kind of just motivated me to work even harder. Like, wow, if they could do it, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I always had that mentality. Like even now, like I work out almost probably every single day because I feel like I gotta be better than the next man. I feel like somebody's always working harder than me and pushing me. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, I feel like, man, I love the game of basketball, man. So it's just like it comes natural. It's not really a burden. Some people they tend to drag it along, like, oh, I gotta work hard today. I gotta go to practice today. I genuinely love the game so much that I feel like it's not really necessarily a thing of like a drag or it's like, oh, I gotta work hard or I gotta run sprints. Nah, I love the game so much that I'll give it everything I got every single time. So it's not really a a chore.
definitely. I think if you enjoy something so much, like you say, you enjoy basketball, it doesn't feel like a work, and you say you want to get better. And
Yeah,
it's a very competitive arena, really. And I think sometimes people don't really realise how competitive it is. I think that's one of the good things about basketball. You definitely see it's
right,
competitive. It's not like a non-contact sport. You're trying to do your best to win the game, or actually try and develop as a player. Um,
right.
and obviously, you had a really interesting journey. What sort of best advice, but maybe some of the youngsters watching wanted to become a professional
Oh
basketball.
yeah.
What advice has helped you?
Okay. Dang. I didn't know if you noticed, but I was a coach when I was in Hemel.
Mm-hmm.
I was coaching. I was going to different people's, schools and stuff like that, and teaching the kids how to play basketball. So they know the slogan. They know, I usually tell them a lot, but really just keep going, just keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. Don't ever quit. Dream big. Um, don't ever stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever settle. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go to the NBA, go to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Make that goal, make that happen. Plan it out, have goals, reach for the stars. and just work hard. Put your head down and work hard. I think nowadays our generation, the younger generation, is too worried about instant gratification. With Instagram and stuff like that, social media and stuff like that. They just want to record their workouts and make it seem like they're working hard. But I feel like it's bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? I think you have to grind. You have to work hard at your craft. Take your craft serious. It's like a job. You know what I'm saying? Like how wake up every single day. You have your blog page. You do what you do on Rebound every single day, and I love it.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? By the way, it's a great page. I follow it a
Oh,
lot,
thank you.
and yeah, it's the same thing. You got to approach it the same way. Take it very seriously. Take everything uh serious when it comes to the sport or the game that you love or whatever you love. You know what I'm saying? It's a passion of yours, you enjoy it, you follow it, take it seriously and work hard. And also be a student of the game. Always be willing to learn from every single person, every walk of life. I've learned from my mother, what I'm saying? She never played a basketball her life, but she always could watch me play and say, oh, you're doing this, or you're off balance, or you're not really working hard, or you're biting your lip too much, or whatever the case may be, little silly things. But I always take it into consideration because it's gonna make me better. And it helps. And
Oh,
I can't watch
definitely.
myself play all the time. Other people are watching me play, so I just learn from them. Yeah.
Definitely, I think really, really important message. And I think for me personally, I lots that I could take away from it.
Mm.
And I've been I'd say always take it seriously, but I felt like the last few months I've sort of tried to be more goal orientated. And I think when you're goal orientated, you it's like a horse with blinkers. You're more focused. And I think if you set yourself a goal, you're less easily distracted by what's going on outside. And I think you mentioned it about, I
Right.
think social media is a real big distraction this current age and
Yeah.
for all
Yeah.
generations. I think actually if
Hmm.
you use it for what you want it to be good, it's a good thing. But I think it's so easy. I speak to myself
Right.
many times that you get distracted, it's gratification you get a bit worried about or look for. But like you say, if you're focused on goal orientation, you'll achieve those goals. And definitely, I've thought about and reflected upon in the last few years, being goal
Mm.
orientated. Um, I think quite a lot of tried and tested route for youngsters. I'll say, obviously, you coach quite a few at Hemel. A lot of the youngsters all seem to want to chase that NBA gold ticket or go to America.
Hmm.
We've had quite a few people on who've done that journey, and they've always talked about the right fit, like that university's right fit. It must be really hard for them to find the right fit because
Hmm.
it's a different country. They don't know the coaches, they don't know
Yeah. It's tough.
rules.
It's
So
tough. It's not
obviously,
easy.
read up definitely. But I
Yeah.
didn't know if there's any factors you think maybe they should consider and find a school that's the right fit for them. What things do you think are really important?
Finding the right fit. I mean, I think. See, it's tough because you want to go on visits, you want to visit the school and stuff like that. You want to do your research. That's the biggest thing I think it is. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? Know what type of person you are and what you're comfortable with. And, if you like the university, visit the university. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and see what you like. Because a lot of these universities, man, it's not what it seems to be. You know what I'm saying? Understand the
Mm.
program, understand what program you're going into, understand who's ahead of you and who's below you. You know what I'm saying? Understand what the goal is, what they're trying to get to, what they're trying to do. I think that was a big thing of me going into pace. My coach told me right away, you're gonna play 30 plus minutes a game and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go. It was tough because I'm transferring from, for example, my situation, I was going into my junior year, transferring to another school because I went to a 2 year school first. So I had Division 1 offers. I had what was it, Omaha. I had St. Peter's and things of that nature. And I said to myself, well, wow, okay, I'm gonna have to work my tail off all over again. You have to work all over again. You have to work as hard as possible to get your spot. You know what I'm saying? And certain situations, there's people that's already in your spot. People already solidified. They're already promising other people your spot. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you guys are on the same page. You know what I'm saying? If the coach sits up there and is honest with you, you have to work for your spot, you have to gain that, this, and the third, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? But understand and ask a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions and soak up a lot of information about the school because you're going to be spending the next 4 to whatever many years there. You don't want to be transferring and doing all this other stuff because I feel like the whole transfer stuff, it makes you, it's like a sign of being kind of uncoachable. Some things are not fit for certain players, but it kind of makes it seem like you're uncoachable if you're jumping school to school every single year. It's like 4 schools in 4 years. It's like, is it really the program or is it the player? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you have
Yeah.
to distinguish the two. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you definitely have to just be on the same page as the coach, have a great relationship with the coach, talk to the coach, understand the program, and I think everything should work out for itself. Especially if you're working hard and if you're committed, you're punctual, and you're respectful. You'll be fine. You should be fine. Yeah.
Definitely, I think you raised a really interesting point about maybe people attracted to more than one sort of thing. It must be really hard for them, even if it was a good scenario they going into, to build the
Mhm.
chemistry, get to know your players, get to know the playbook, get
Right.
to know your coach,
Right.
and the facilities. So yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously from Pace you went to Hemel, and obviously you had good season this season. I'm
Yeah.
really interested in sort of like how that opportunity came about. What were your decision factors in sort of deciding to the UK and so maybe other places?
Um. Yeah, man. Shout out to my agent, Ryan. I can't pronounce his last name, but I'm
Mulvaney?
gonna call him Ryan. Yeah, there you go. That's him. Yeah. Uh, that's my guy, man. Love him to death. He's represented most of my teammates actually. All my older teammates, Elijah Boone, AJ Williams, Michael Vigilance, Fwad. He represented all of them, and we kind of came across. My coach put me onto him. Was like, I got this player. He works really hard. This and the third. He called me on the phone one night and was just like, I just need somebody who works hard, and I'll do the rest. I'll handle everything else for you. So we talk things of that nature. I went to a camp out in New York. I got ranked like 12th out of everybody. I did pretty well in that. And it wasn't really much opportunities, people knocking on my doors. I had other opportunities like in Ireland and stuff like that, little things, little agents trying to, sign me, things of that nature. But he was very genuine about it. And not only that, he paid for my workouts within Brooklyn. So he had me go to different workouts and we all worked out with each other and it was all cool, you know what I'm saying? And then he finally hit me, hey man, England wants to sign you. This is my first year, I went to a Division II school. I don't really have much options, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of was like, I'm ready where they was gonna take me. I'm ready. Um, so I just needed opportunity. That's what I was. So the way I approached it was like anywhere that comes is a good fit for me. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And that was really the only official offer that I had. I had other offers elsewhere, but it wasn't. It was kind of it wasn't really like a genuine kind of offer. It was like, oh yeah, we might offer you, whatever the case may be. But once I heard Hemel in England, I said, yeah, I'm down, man. I went to the gym the next day. I printed out the contract in the gym with my boy Mike. Man, we worked out right after I printed out the contract, and I signed it, and that was signed, sealed, delivered. I mean, that was it. I told my mom about it. She read it over. She liked it. She said, "I'm glad that you're going to a country that they speak English in." Turns out I had family there in England. Actually, my grandmother told me that, and I mean, I was excited to go, man. I really was, for sure.
Definitely. I guess the movement's made easier when you obviously realised you got a family over here, and you obviously came over Mike. How did you first meet Mike? Sort of because obviously having known someone going there obviously made it a bit
Yeah,
easier, and obviously having that relationship
yeah.
with him. So how did it all start?
Yeah, Mike's my guy, man. I love Mike to death, man. So I've always heard about Mike because Mike went to Brooklyn. Bishop Loughlin is a Catholic school, a very prominent Catholic school within Brooklyn, and they're very good in basketball. So I always heard of Mike because he was killing doing his thing over there. I think he's a 1,200 point scorer, I think, over there. So he was always good. I always heard about his name, but I never really knew him personally because he's older than me. He went to Rutgers. He did his thing at Rutgers, and we kind of met within our workouts because we used to work out on the beach together with our trainer English Tillery, where Ryan paid for all of us to all work out. So I met him. I never forgot. I met him the first day, and it was just love, man. Like we just, yo, what's up? How you been? Like, what I'm saying? I'm Mike. I'm Greg. We worked out. It was cool, and then we just kind of got closer. He would call me here and there. Yo, Greg, I can't drive, man. It's cool if you drive and things of that nature. Just little things. And then we just got closer when we got to England because he was just a real cool dude. We just always were with each other. It made the process so much easier because I had somebody who was not only a good player but a good friend. Somebody that was there for me, somebody that who could tell me, "Yo, Greg, you need to work on this, you need to work on that." He made me a very, very, very much better much player because he just we used to work out in the gym a lot, and he used to just train me and just tell me, "Yo, Greg, you need to do this, you need to do that," and it helped me out a lot, man. It really did. So I appreciate Mike, man. I really do. Yeah.
Definitely, and it sounds like obviously that really helped the situation. I'm sure form
Sure.
that relationship.
Yeah.
Were there sort of any other off-court memories that you sort of cherish from this season? Maybe Hemel fans might be aware of. Maybe some sort of funny stories you want to share with the Hemel family as you're on.
Oh man. All right. I'm gonna share this story with y'all. Hemel organization kind of knows the story, but
Yeah.
basically, there was a spider in the room, right?
I think
In my
Mike told me a bit
room.
about the story. Yeah.
Yeah, man. There was a
Okay,
spider in the
okay.
room. So me, Mike, and Jack, number 7 on Hemel Storm. So I'm staying at
Yeah.
their house. We live in there, and we playing a video game, and there's a spider in the corner. So I jump up, and I'm like, "Oh man, let me go get the broom, kill it." And Jack's like, "No, no, 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 no! I'm gonna grab it, right?" So naturally, I have a little fear of spiders. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting over it slowly, but surely. Um, so Jack decides to pick up the spider. Mind you, it's a daddy long leg. The legs are kind of big. It's creeping me out. It's moving a lot, and I'm like, so naturally, I get a little afraid. I jump up, hit my head on the door. Ah, hurts. I'm like, dang. I run out. I grab the broom and I use it as a weapon to kind of keep Jack at bay, so he won't throw it at me. So I'm yelling at Jack. I'm going on Storm, just like Jack, move, like stay there, like don't come near me. Jack's laughing. Mike's recording. He's laughing. Everyone's just
Yeah.
laughing at me. And he finally gets rid of the spider. And I'm just like, man, I can't believe I just acted like this over a little spider. So everybody within Hemel now knows that I'm scared of spiders. So they send me little pictures in a group chat. Oh, Greg, look what I found in my backyard. They zoom a spider and stuff like that. It's like, oh man, come on. So now Rebound knows. Everybody in England knows that Greg is scared of
We all
spiders.
know. Oh mate, I'd imagine a lot of the photos people send you with spiders on and teasing you. So thanks for
Yeah,
sort of
man.
sharing that. As I say,
Oh,
it's interesting though how like something like that can really stroke fear. So for me, it's rats. I don't know
yeah.
why. I've never had an
It's rats.
experience with
Oh
rats,
man.
but just the
Listen
sight of
now,
one or thought of one of us.
if you
Yep.
if you ever come out to New York, man, listen, just stay like go indoors around 7 o'clock. You should be good because the rats is rat central out here. No joke.
Definitely.
So, yeah,
I'm much better now, maybe sort of from a huge spider, so I think if they're in my house or I'm okay if I see them walking about, see them in the
mm,
city, do see them a bit, obviously maybe
mm,
not to New York, I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely that's
mm.
my phobia. I thought I'd share that. If you, yeah, come and share about your
Appreciate that.
spiders.
Appreciate that. Making me feel a
But
little bit better about myself, man.
of course, we're all human. I think we all have our little fears. But
Yeah,
honestly, it's interesting how these fears start. It's odd because it could be out of nothing, but maybe some like the films or it's
yeah,
really interesting. It's something I find interesting, sort of
yeah.
examine and ponder upon why I'm scared of rats because I've not really had any actual bad
Wait,
feelings.
question though. This is my
Yeah.
only question for you because my biggest fear is when future my kids and things of that nature. What if there's a rat in your house or a spider for my case? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna handle that? Being the man of the house, you know what I'm
Uh,
saying? How are you gonna handle that?
we, me and my girlfriend, we've all discussed this many times, and we have an agreement. I deal with any moth situations. She deals with any rat situations. But
Okay,
I think
okay.
if she wasn't in, I think I would have to deal with it. You
You have to deal with it.
can't not let your kids have to deal with that. It's funny
Fair
because
enough.
she's quite an animal person, and before she came to live with me, she had all sorts of animals like rats, cats,
Mm.
parents sort of the breeds of all sorts of animals. But I vetoed rats and cats, but more the cat was more because I'm pretty certain if we had a cat there, we'd have rattled it. So no cats. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
But
sure,
it's good to
sure.
see we're talking about it, try and make it issue a bit of a less issue for us. So um,
Right, right.
obviously, obviously moving on a little bit, say even I'm a bit better than the thought of it still sort of made me a bit itchy. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I say obviously it was really good to see you at Hemel. And as an experience playing for the Hemel crowd, what was it like as an NBL team? Maybe people are not aware of the
Uh,
NBL. They're one or more back teams. So I'd love to hear your experience playing for them and some of your favourite memories.
oh man. Man. I love the Hemel Storm fans. I think they're the best fans in the NBL for sure. I might even say I've never been to a BBL game. I don't know, but I think they're the best fans in UK. To be honest with you, man, it was energy every single night. It's tough as a player, going against teams and stuff like that, like Thames Valley, Solon Kestrels, things of that nature. You know, when you need motivation, they're there for you. They have your back. They're still cheering. 10 seconds to go, you're down by 10. They still cheering for you. They still there for you. And it's people in the community. I coach a lot of kids, and a lot of kids came to the games, and they would just swarm me after the game. They would swarm me. They'll cheer my name. They'll be so loud, as well as the parents, as well as the people of Hemelstorm that work for them. And the best part about it was the fact that they were always there, and they traveled with us as well. They went away. They went to the away games as well with us. We had a crowd with us. It wasn't like when we went to Solon, we was just by ourselves. You know, I I dealt with that when I went to Pace that time because our fan base isn't as big. We would just be going there by ourselves, and it's a bunch of people just a bunch of fans just booing us and heckling us and stuff like that. Whereas we got people on our side, behind us, and things of that
Yeah,
nature. It's like we good. We got a whole army. We going against it. It gives you that extra boost to be the team and to be the best team and ultimately get the win.
definitely. And typically, I say I usually when I watch Hemel come to watch, say, Minnesota fan for rebound. It's great to see 'cause not only, like you say, do they travel a number, there's like an orange walls, they all wear replica stuff, they all look bright orange,
Yeah,
they're loud, they're proud.
yeah, yep.
It's a really good ad.
Yeah, you can see us. You can see us coming, and you can hear us coming as well, man. That's the best part. That bright
I
orange,
know.
it's a problem.
It's a good
For
colour,
sure.
and loud colour, loud fans, definitely. I mean, it's great
Yeah.
ad for the league, how they built their brand.
Mhm.
I'd love to learn their secrets. I think if more clubs had fans like that, it'd be a great ad for the NBL. And we've seen a lot of it with other teams. But I think, like you say, Hemel probably one of the best teams, definitely in the NBL, maybe even BBL. Um,
Right.
I'd say some of the games seem to be streamed live. I didn't know what your take on that was, whether your families enjoyed watching it back, what their thoughts been when they've been watching your games, so the
Mhm.
atmosphere and the
Yeah.
experience from their point of
Yeah.
view.
Um. So first thing, my little brother, he always be like, "What about those horns? Like the horns that they make in the crowd?
Super sailors,
I don't know. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know what they're called, but they usually hit them in soccer games, right? I think that's what this.
yeah.
I think that's what they use.
I think
Yeah,
South
perfect.
Africa
So
World Cup they were.
yeah, yeah, we're a big thing. So that's all you hear when we come to our thing. You hear the big drum at our home games, and you hear the big horns and stuff like that. My brother was like, "Man, how do you play with those horns? I know they're so annoying." I'm like, you get used to it after a while, because we don't do that in America, really. We just got our little cowbells, and that's really it, and the little drums and stuff like that. But those horns, man, that was different. I thought I was at a soccer game and stuff like that. But my family, man, I think they were really appreciative of what I was doing. I took a risk coming out here. I could have easily got a 9 to 5 job working. I had my degree and stuff like that. I went to a good school. I could have easily did that, but I think they liked the fact that I took a step. I took a risk coming out here, and I actually was doing well. You know, they saw my journey. They've seen me grow. My whole entire family seen me grow into this figure that I am now. The person I am now, and I'm still continuously growing, but I think they love my journey, and they love the fact that the way I approached the game when I went out there, the fans having my back, me succeeding on the court, doing moves that I usually don't do, being comfortable, expanding my game. Um, you know, I think they were just so happy. My father was so excited. My mom was so proud of me, and my brother was just like, man, you're the coolest dude in the world. So that means the world to me, just having my family behind me and stuff like that, knowing that they're in my corner no matter what, but also that they're proud of me, for everything that I'm doing.
Yeah,
So it was great.
definitely having all those factors makes you a bit more comfortable, more confident to expand your game. And I was wondering, maybe
Yeah.
you've probably got next season on the mind, but obviously when this all goes back to normal. And I was wondering, what part of your game would you like to expand for next season? What sort of thing would you like to add
Uh,
to your game? Or
I mean, I am 6'7", and I play like the four, so I want to try to transition into that three spot, that wing, like officially. You know, I'm working on that right now. Just developing that perimeter game, being more consistent with my 3 pointers and things of that nature, being more comfortable putting the ball on the ground, and things of that nature, and attacking more consistently. I feel like if I add those things to my game, I'm gonna be really deadly. You know, I have a little jump shot. I have a little post game. I can rebound pretty well. I'm tenacious and things of that nature. Decent mindset. You know, but if I add those different tools to my game, I think it'll be pretty scary. You know, and I think I could take my career just to a different level. So I'm definitely working on that right now for sure. Yeah.
Definitely, and I think adding a 3 point shooting will be a really good thing to add to your game. Because a lot of the
Yeah.
top 2 or 3 teams definitely were hot shooters,
Mhm.
and I was wondering maybe what games do you find tough to play against, and maybe a bit why maybe some of those games are really tough.
Oh, the toughest games that I played while I was
Yeah,
in. Yeah. So
head
the
on,
toughest
yeah.
games, man. I mean, whew, yikes. So what happened? I think in the beginning, we lost to was it Derby? I think it was Derby with Malcolm
Yeah.
Smith, Trey Wilford. That was a tough game because they kind of punched us in our mouth. It was very physical, and at the time we had Lee Hodges on our team, 7 footer. You know, and he was kind of getting muscled around a little bit. You know, they weren't calling fouls. The refs weren't really that well, and you know, I'm not nothing against the refs in the UK, but
It's
you
all right.
know,
I understand,
you
man.
guys,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, those tough games were like those physical games, like Thames Valley, another team that's very physical. Um, those getting Bradford, another physical game with Richard Stokes and the other big guy, Fesky. Yeah, those guys,
Yeah.
stuff like that. They gave us a hard time because not only did they bang with us, but like someone like Fesky who could shoot, someone like Malcolm Smith who could shoot, someone like Charles who could shoot the basketball was really deadly for us because I'm matching up with them, but not only Lee was had to guard those guys, and they could just shoot. You know, they could step out on that pick and pop and just shoot and just kill us from that range. So that was pretty tough for us. I feel not only was their forwards good, but their guards were well as well. Trey Wilford, I mean, come on, he had 10 steals one game. I mean, that's insane. Like, you know, he's a dog. You had the other kid from what's the team? The guard, the lefty guard. What's the team name again? Dang. Not Bradford. What's the other team name?
Near
Rockets? Reading.
Bradford. Oh, Reading, yeah.
Um, Reading. Is it Nick Richards?
Yeah,
Nick
Nick
Richards.
Richards,
He
yeah,
was
he
also
was
a tough
amazing, yeah.
guard. Yeah, and then the guards from Thames Valley. That was also a tough matchup
Yeah.
as well because not only those two guards could score, but you also had Scylla down there grabbing every rebound. You know what I'm saying? Finishing it around the basket like crazy. So having those, I feel like having a dual threats, like that's why Solent was so good because they had Elliot Santos, they had Travis Charles, they had Ian Smith. Those 3 guys on the court, I mean, it's kind of like pick your poison, you know? Especially with the pick and roll of Ian Smith and Travis Charles. I mean, it's literally pick your poison at that point. So it was tough, man. It was tough, but we got a couple wins, man. We beat Thames Valley, we did beat Derby, we did beat Reading, we did beat Bradford twice. I mean, we did really well. I feel you know Mike played really well. I played well myself, but also my teammates. I mean, Bodie was a big contributor. Lee, when he was with us, he was a big contributor as well. Sam Newman, Jesus man, he was triple double like walking. In my opinion, he
Yeah.
was helping us out greatly. You know, he always gave us energy. Will Ashby, Jake Murphy. You know, I wish Jake could play predominantly more of the season. I don't know if you guys really seen him play much, but he was huge for us at certain times, man. He was very good. Um,
While
and
you're
a slew
there,
of other
sorry,
players as well. Say it again?
Jake Murphy's messaging. Obviously, he's watching today. So
Uh,
miss you, my bro. So shout out to Jake, and then if there's anything you want to say to Jake while he's obviously watching us today.
yeah, my boy Jake, man. Jake, man. You know, Jake really got me a lot better in practice as well, too, man. He's a fierce competitor. He works very hard. Wonderful guy, man. I love him to death, man. Jake, man. Shout out to you, man. Keep working, man. You got this, no problem. And also my other man, Waleed, man. How can I forget Waleed? Waleed was my guy, a great captain, a great leader. He led us. He also kind of took me underneath his wing and showed me, the ropes and stuff like that, how to maneuver, how to, you know, carry myself within the organization. So, just thank you for all those guys, man, for real. And how did I forget Drew Spinks, the coach? Come on, he was a
Yeah,
great coach. Great coach, man. Great coach.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
it's a great team, and obviously you've done your homework. You sort of promoted all the talent in the league. I'm sure it's more you're going to
Oh
see more
yeah.
anyway, but I think it's
Oh
been a really
yeah,
great
man.
league for the NBL. And I say, obviously, you talked about
Yeah.
Solent and Worthing both sort of doing well in the BBL trophy. So it's amazing that semi-pro teams are mixed up into fully professional teams and putting NBL on the map.
Yeah.
We were getting to the point, but I thought, were there any games in particular that were like really good for you? Felt like everything was going well for the team, for yourself.
Whew. I want to say one of my favorite games was our Solent game. So the first Solent game that we played at Solent, that
Yeah, yeah,
game was good because we were losing by a lot in the first half. Second half came and we turned it up so
yeah.
much, man. I
And
think I think I don't know if we tied it, but I think we broke the lead down to 2. Mike was going crazy. I think he had 23 points. I had about like 14 rebounds. Lee was doing his thing, but Bodie was just hitting threes left and right, man. It was wonderful to see that, and I feel like that kind of made us stronger and led us into. I think we're going on like a 9-game winning streak after that. I think after that loss, and we kind of buckled down as a unit because we knew we could compete with these guys. We knew we could play with them. We knew we could come back. If we didn't come out lazy in the beginning, in the first half, we would have beat them. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that gave us that sort of motivation, that sort of, you know, it propelled us to definitely, carry on the season and finish kind of strong.
I remember that game quite well because I was watching it,
Yeah,
maybe a Solent fan, and you definitely had them on the ropes. And I remember there was one
yeah,
point, I think, Mike Williams, I was really impressed. He sort of, I think, ran to the hoop, did a nice little pirouette spin, and almost got the
mhm.
basket. I thought, if that got in, I thought maybe you guys had the game. Obviously, there's lots of other things, but could have gone either way
Listen,
to make it. But it was a really good
yeah,
game to watch. And
yeah.
shame the
That was
cameras
like one
weren't
of the
there. I think,
most. Yeah, that was like one of the most entertaining games too, man. For real. My mom and my dad was like, man, we was on
definitely,
the edge of our seat the whole time. Like it was a good game.
yeah,
So that was one of my favorite games for
definitely.
sure. Yeah.
I think from games I watched this season, that was definitely up
Mhm.
there, sort of top 2 or 3 games to watch. It was really like
Yeah.
entertaining. Um,
Mhm.
for me, being a fan, it definitely got me aware of like you and Mike, who both played really well that game. So hats off
Yeah.
to the whole franchise. Yourself, Drew Spink,
Sure.
being the head coach this year, and he also Michael Dahl, assistant coach. What are some of your memories from their coaching this season? Maybe some of the best advice they gave you to help you develop.
Man. Drew Spinks, man, he helped me develop so much, man. Michael Darlow was that he's that assistant coach. Let's just segue off of
Yeah,
Drew. Let's start off with Michael Darlow. Michael Darlow
yeah, yeah.
is probably one of the funniest assistant coaches I've ever had in my life, man. He is hilarious, but he kind of brings that sort of like Big Brother feel, Like I'm here for you, I got your back. He talks to you. He doesn't really scream at you like that. If he gets mad, you're wrong. That's how I look at it. If Michael Darlow gets mad, yeah, he's pissed. But I feel like he was just a great support to Drew because Drew is a very you gotta do this hard. You know what I'm saying? He's big on man standards. That's what he's big on. Standards, having our standards, playing, effort, being committed, and things of that nature. That's Drew right there. But you have Michael on the other hand, who was very not laid back, but he was a softer voice. Someone you could talk to, someone you could, relate to. When you sub out of the game and stuff like that, he'd be like, "Come sit next to me," talk to him and stuff like that. He'll give you a different perspective, and he'll tell you what you may not see on the court. So thank you, Michael Dollar, for that. Drew, on the other hand, Drew used to work me and Mike out probably almost every Friday before a game. I mean, we used to be puddling down with sweat, man. He made us so much better, particularly me. I feel he made me better. I don't know what Mike would say, but Mike was really good. So, but he made me really better. He made me just kind of expand my game, made me shoot with confidence. He taught me a lot of different things, man. Um, Drew, I love Drew to death, man. He's a competitor. He even he, if Drew like wanted to suit up and play against us, he probably would. Like honestly speaking, like that's how Drew is, and it kind of rubbed off on me. I could relate to him in that sense, being very competitive and stuff like that. And I think he definitely made me a better player. He gave me the confidence, and I trusted him a lot. And that's a big thing coming from a coach and a player relationship, the trust aspect of it. I feel like I trusted him a lot, and that's why I feel like I was very consistent throughout the year because I trusted him and I trusted what he was running and the plays that he was running and stuff like that. So shout out to Drew, man. Drew definitely made me a better player, man. Appreciate him a lot.
Definitely. And I say you guys, were pretty consistent. Obviously, that comes down from the coach's message and all the
Right.
staff and all the players buying into it. So
Right.
obviously, I think the last weekend you lost the test scores, which I think maybe put you down in the league table, but
Yeah.
you're pretty much third, top three.
Yeah.
So
Top
obviously,
three.
very good
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I say it's
Sure.
really entertaining season, entertaining games. I was about to say how was the experience as a whole, but I think I pretty much tell it was resounding positive, lots of highlights, lots of funny moments.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
what obviously it's an unknown time, and no one really knows what's going to happen, what's going to be in place next season. But I didn't know if you thought about your next move, and maybe what factors would influence your next move.
Yeah. The thing with the next move, the whole COVID situation.
Mm.
My agent was talking to me about it. The safest bet is to resign, but we don't know if the league is gonna, continue on because of the whole situation. I do have he is getting my name out to other, leagues and stuff like that. But honestly, it's just what fits me the best. What's the best situation for myself? What helps me propel longer to the career? I don't have a problem coming back because I think it will help my career. But like I said, if it's a better situation out there where I could play somewhere else for more money and things of that nature, then unfortunately, I have to take it. But I would be lying to you if I said I didn't want to come back. I would love to come back. I miss my kids that I coached. I miss my family that I was staying with. I miss my teammates. I miss my coach. I miss everybody, man. I hope everybody's safe as well. But I really enjoyed my time out there. It was definitely an experience, and I appreciate it. I really do. I really do.
Definitely, and I say, I'm sure everyone appreciates that there's lots of factors in play, and it's great that you say that you really enjoyed your time at Hemel. I'm sure that'll play
Yeah.
a part, and obviously, I'm sure people realise you're human too. And it's got to be what's right for you and your family. And obviously, COVID takes a big decision that will depend on what the situation is. I
Right.
really look forward to NBL next season because I think in the background we recently heard that the BBL, the League of Professional League, have 4 Americans, and I'm thinking that if that competition got more competitive, I think it could drive the NBL. I wonder what you thought about that in terms of increase the variety of players, make it more competitive environment.
Mm.
What do you think?
So you trying to say like they're increasing the what of players?
So BBL, I was like, you don't watch much. I appreciate you said earlier you didn't watch much BBL, so I think it's interesting. Usually, the BBL you have 3 American players, but you have a
Mm.
certain amount of European players and a certain amount of English players.
Mm.
For whatever reason, I'm not privy to their decision making. They've
Right.
increased the Americans, but not at the detriment of decreasing the English players. It's about
Um,
so, and typically, as I say, we've seen the NBL. A lot of American guys were one of the stronger part of the NBL, the same for the BBL. I wonder
right.
what you thought about British basketball having more Americans, maybe more top talent in the league, and how that might filter down to the NBL.
I think that would be great. I think that would be great. I feel like people don't understand. I think the thing with the UK that makes every other league kind of different is the fact that you guys speak English. That makes the o- playing overseas easier. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
Yeah,
if you bring more talent in, you get more entertainment. You know what I'm saying? You get more highlights. You get more fun. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, also becomes more competitive as well. It becomes really more competitive, bringing Americans over and stuff like that. And I really think that should be a. I think they should continue with that. Honestly, I think they should do that. They should go through with that because it's going to make the league way more entertaining. And not only that, you're going to bring fans from America as well coming in there and viewing, British basketball, how you guys play. You guys are very smart. You guys are very different from America. Americans, we play a little bit more egotistical. I would say, we have a chip on our shoulder kind of when we play. A little attitude to us a little bit. I feel like in England, how you guys play a little bit smarter. You guys are a little bit more trickier. That's how Europeans play. You guys play a little bit more fundamentally sound. You guys are maybe a little bit better passers, a little bit more better shooters than us. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. So I think bringing more Americans over will have American sort of fans watching them play as well, because they're gonna follow their players. Like how I have my family following me, you might have a bigger name. I don't know, someone like I can't really give a name, but whatever
Yeah,
player bringing them over and stuff like that, bringing those fans definitely make the league that much bigger and that much more competitive. So I think they should definitely think about doing that more for sure.
definitely. There's no right or wrong answer, but I think you really put some really good points. And things I think about increased awareness, like say increased
Yeah,
competition, increased people watching. Because obviously, you say your family watching, your friends watching it, and if you got
right.
more people watching it, more people talking about it, it should be a
Exactly.
good thing, like you say. Um,
Exactly.
so definitely, I thought we'd talk a bit more about you on the court. And I say there was a few games I noticed you played really well. I wonder if you remember them. It's the Liverpool game, and you got your season high of 30 points, 17
Oh yeah.
rebounds, 2 assists, 3. What do you remember that game? Say you play really well all stats. I did finish 3 steals,
Yeah.
3 blocks. Amazing game. What are your memories from that game?
So that game
Uh,
was after the game after the Christmas break.
mm-hmm.
So the holiday break, I don't know what you could call it. I think we had like a week off.
Yeah.
And that was when we heard the news that Lee was not going to be with us anymore. So that's when Drew talked to me. He said, we're going to move you to the 5 now, and we'll have Waleed play the 4, and so on and so forth. So I took it upon myself to step up. I said to myself, I got to step up now. I got to hold not only Lee accountable, but I also hold myself accountable as well. Pick up, Lee, what Lee usually do, and Lee, he'll go out there, it's double a game. you know. So I'm usually getting about 10 rebounds a game usually. So that game, I'm like, you know what, I got to get at least 20. And one of my friends actually texted me. He was like, you know what, this might be a good thing for you, man. You might have to go for 20 and 20. So I was like, yeah, you might have to. So I just remember just constantly everybody hit me in my spots. I was just being very tenacious throughout the whole game. I had a lot of energy because I was resting for a week, but I was also training and, incorporating working out and stuff like that. And it was fun, man. It was great. I remember that game like it was yesterday, man. It was a great atmosphere that night. I think I had a big highlight on somebody. They called a big dunk, something like that. So that was
Awesome.
cool too. That was a bit cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I say your agent's definitely got your corner, that's for sure. No matter where you end, I'm sure he'll get your best move. He just commented in saying, this is great. You need an on-air contract now too. So I'm sure he's trying to sort you out with a contract to come on here. Um, obviously, you mentioned it
Appreciate
about
that, man.
before. Is there
Thank
anything,
you.
yeah. I know. I thought it was really funny, and I say, yeah, you'd be a great guest,
Yeah.
really top five, especially. I think sometimes when you look at stat, you don't realise the context. I think you highlighted it really well. Obviously,
Mm,
the team losing, Greg, it was an opportunity for you, and obviously took it well in that
yeah.
game. So not
Right.
Greg, that Lee, obviously,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and it was really good season for you. Say you were the seventh most efficient and also second average rebounds. And I
Mm,
think you always answer already, but I was going to say, obviously, having Lee missing at 7 foot by making a
yeah.
massive gap in the team, I'd imagine you've got more rebound opportunities
Yeah. For sure.
after that.
For
Um,
sure.
I'm really interested in sort of delving deep because I think not everyone here is a player, some are fans. But what sort of workouts do you feel most beneficial to help you expand your rebound in the game and ensure that you're in the best shape possible to hit as many balls as possible? You mentioned there's quite a few guys who's quite a strong tool.
Yeah.
What helps you sort of?
It's Um, what I usually do is my brother, we go to the park and it's like a triple rim kind of rim, right? And I tell him, yo, shoot, just shoot, and I'll rebound. And after every rebound, I usually just snatch it out the air and go back up. And repping that constantly, I actually stole this from Dennis Rodman. He said he did this. You would see like certain way the ball comes off the rim. You could kind of anticipate it before it lands in that position wherever it goes. So you just practice constantly. He shoots, and you're just getting the rebound and you're going back up. You're getting a rebound, you're going back up. You constantly do that for a long period of time. You're gonna get tired, you're gonna get winded. You're building stamina. Not only you're recognizing where the ball can possibly go. So for example, I'll never forget my coach at Coffeeville, he always used to say a corner shot, if you shoot from the corner, obviously it's gonna be, if you miss it, it's gonna go the opposite way, right? It's gonna go over to the other side of the rim. So I always, every time somebody shoots a corner shot, you always see me, I run
You
to the
know,
other side and get that rebound every single time, right? So that's just certain little tricks you see. Another thing, if someone's in front of the rim, there's two ways the ball is gonna go. It's gonna either jump in front of the rim or it's gonna like hit it and jump up really high. So that's like opportunity for a putback or something like that. Or if your guard is, for example, Bodie or Sam, they're driving to the basket, fast break. It's hard to kind of control yourself to make the layup because there might be somebody trailing you for a block. That's the perfect time to go for a rebound and get a dunk. You know what I'm saying? So those just little things over time from playing the game of basketball, it develops, just kind of getting a knack for rebounding. But if I had any drill out there, I would definitely say have somebody just shoot, just have them shoot, whether they make, miss or not, it doesn't matter. Just grab as many rebounds as possible and go back up with it. Yeah.
And I imagine you remember Nick Richards left-handed, probably plays part two. I imagine it's always left-handed, right-handed. They might rebound differently. And I'm glad you mentioned this one because I've really enjoyed The Last Dance. And I imagine.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Last Dance?
Say it again.
I'm
Michael Jordan last dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen it?
Oh
Amazing.
man, that was a great series, man. That was great. I love it because honestly, I never watched Michael Jordan play live because I was born in 1997. Yeah, so I'm young, but honestly speaking, I think LeBron's my GOAT. He'll forever be my GOAT because I grew up with him. But I think mentality wise, the way he pushed his teammates, the way he pushed himself and put that pressure on himself to perform is second to none. Like he's the greatest in that aspect for sure. The way he approached the game, the way he took the game so serious, he was a student of the game. He he attacked the game in so much. Oh man, he was great, man. He was great, and I think that documentary kind of showed a light on that. I didn't know that his father passing away. He played baseball. He could have made it in baseball. I didn't know that he was that good. Where people was like literally came up with rules for this man. Like that's insane. So I definitely want to just inspire. I took that. I wrote that down in my notes actually. Just like I gotta take some sort of mentality that he has and try to incorporate that in my game for sure because he's one of the greats for sure, man. Sure.
Definitely, and I say, tenuous league, obviously, your transition to baseball to basketball, obviously, him and his journey.
Yeah.
And the reason I mentioned it is for me as a fan, my coaching knowledge or aspects of play knowledge is very limited. And it's something I've developed in this season, sort of learning, listening, watching content. And I thought it was really interesting you mentioned Dennis Rodman in terms of some things you were saying were similar to what he was saying about when he came into the Chicago about how he can affect the game. And was there any NBA players growing up that you sort of looked to as dominant rebounders or dominant scorers? And I wonder who it was.
Growing up, my favorite player was Kevin Garnett. And you might see a little similarity in our games because I just studied him to death, him and Elijah Vaughn. And I was also a Dwight Howard fan too, but I don't really prefer Dwight Howard. It's not really comparison. But growing up, man, I love Kevin Garnett. My mother, she's from South Carolina. He's from South Carolina. That was her favorite player at the time. And I just remember him being so intense on defense and so intense on offense. He played both ends of the game, both ends with dominance. He was a dominant on defense and he was dominant on offense. And the way he played and tenacity that he played with, I just wanted to incorporate that with my game so much because it kind of gave you an edge on other players. Like you have that sort of tenacity where you want to like rip someone's head off almost, and it's like that's what it takes to win a game. And that's what it takes to be the best. So I always incorporated his game, his fadeaway, his soft touch. He was a big man, but he could shoot with probably one of the best. His mid range was great. He had post moves. He was tenacious. He dunked on people. He grabbed rebounds, and it was great, man. I really kind of like idolized him a lot growing up, for sure. Yeah,
definitely. So I'll go and watch him. I'm sure we'll see similarities. So if you studied him a lot to try and replicate his moves. Sure. Was there any move in particular that you really replicated? Like, was it a shot that he did that you really liked, or rebound he really liked? Was there a particular move? Or
I just remember.
I get the insights of Greg Poleon tactics. I'm sort of scouts here.
I'm not as crazy as him. I just want to put that out there. He's a little loony, but he used to hit his head on the back the back of the backboard. He used to hit his head on a thing, a little foam part. And he used to hit his head on it before a game. He used to be so intense. He used to be drooling from the mouth. He'll slap the ground to play defense and stuff like that. Like that's so intimidating. Like if you see a 6'11" player going back on defense, slapping the ground, staring you in your face, ready to play defense, like Jesus, man. Like I wanted to incorporate that in my game so much. I do it in different ways. Like I might nudge you, I might talk my, say whatever, things of that nature. I might hit the ball, I might slap the ball hard, yell, things of that nature. I feel like that propels me, to just play that much better. It gets me going, like kind of play angry. Kind of
Sure,
that's how
yeah.
I look at it. Play angry. Yeah.
And I think there's similarities to Jordan there. Sort of always have that chip on your shoulder. Find
Yeah.
I always when I was watching it without spoiling, people maybe not fully caught up. But it was really interesting how you take something, it might be a slight, or it might just be something he'd imagined, but he used it as a catalyst to. God, I thought it was amazing. And I think he
That's
put the mental
crazy.
aspect into another level. Um,
Yeah, remember
is there anything
he
that,
made up the guy. He said that the guy said something to him, but he never really
yeah,
said it. And he went out and
there was so
scored
many
like
things.
what 6 crazy. He's
I
crazy.
know.
I gotta do that. I gotta just come up with some type of like somebody disrespected me or something like that. I gotta go play. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
guess it works. I guess it works.
But you say like a chip on the shoulder, I think it drives you, doesn't it? Was there anything else you sort of took away from maybe his persona that you think, oh, want to get that in, it helped me become a better player or better person?
From a documentary, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, from documentary. So I learned quite a lot as
Doc,
well. So you,
I think his preparation. So I think they mentioned that Michael Jordan focused a lot on the fundamentals. So many, as kids growing up, you only see the highlights, you only see the dunks and the flash things and things of that nature. But they said that he never practiced those things. He never practiced those things. It was just natural when he went on the court. So I feel like if I focus on the fundamentals of playing on the, like for example, when I said I was expanding my game, if I focus on the fundamental things, then the other, flashy things will come because it's naturally there. I have everything naturally down pat. You know, um, Another thing, me and Michael Jordan got similar hand sizes. I have huge hands. I don't know if you know this. I have huge hands. So like I always kind of like envision myself like the way he shoots, kind of he keeps out in front and it's always tight. Everything is tight. Like I was like, dang, that's a great shot. I'm working on that. I'm working on keeping my shot tight, flicking my wrist, getting up a little bit higher in the air for that jump shot and stuff like that. Also his tenaciousness, like his will to win. He wanted to win so bad. I feel like having that mentality, like I want to win, I'll do anything to win. That's second to none. Like I said, I feel like I need to incorporate that in my game as much as possible. So many times you let fatigue let you, I'm not gonna run back on defense this time. I'm gonna jog this one out. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jordan would never do that. I feel like Jordan would just he'll do anything to win. He'll do anything to absolutely dominate you. And I took that and I ran with it. I'm like, you know what? I gotta have that mentality, man, if I want to be great. So that's probably one of the biggest things I
definitely,
took from him.
I think it harks back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of being goal orientated. Michael definitely was goal orientated pursuit of success. And I thought it was quite funny. You sort of mentioned a bit earlier, but LeBron was your goat, and I was really interested. For me, I think it's quite a fascinating subject that we sort of
Yeah.
always seem to want to discuss the GOAT debate. I was wondering what to you makes LeBron stand out as a GOAT, and whether do you think the GOAT debate is a distracting thing for LeBron to have during his career?
Oh man. All right. So this is my thing with the whole debate. It's tough because
Yeah,
it's so many. You could talk statistics, you could talk all this other thing, but I feel like LeBron overall, as an overall player, is better than Michael Jordan. Like he passes better, he rebounds better. He's also a physical specimen as well. He's 6'8", 250. I mean, you can't stop that. Michael Jordan was a better scorer. Michael Jordan was probably a better leader. Michael Jordan was probably a better winner. You know, when you match those things up, it's like neck and neck almost, I feel. But the biggest thing for me with Michael Jordan that I didn't realize is that he's what, maybe top 5, top 3 in scoring in 13 seasons. That's incredible.
no,
Like, and LeBron is kind of just past that in 17 seasons. So it's like, Braun, I don't know anymore. But I think LeBron has faced a lot of more adversity than I don't know about that either because after watching that documentary, Michael Jordan faced a lot of adversity as well. But I feel like LeBron's journey was different. Coming in,
Yeah,
he had so much hype. I feel like it's easier. It's sad to say, but it's easier to work up than it is to stay at the top. And
yeah,
be that guy for so long. I feel Braun has been that guy for so long. Michael Jordan came in the league, and he was like, "Okay, Michael Jordan's here. All right, next year, okay, yeah, this is Michael Jordan. Okay, the next year they kept building, and he just became Michael Jordan, who he is. I feel like LeBron, he kind of stayed in that spotlight for the longest. He won Rookie of the Year, and he kind of just, yes, he got better, but he also stayed at the top for a long time, and I got to give him that. I got to give him that for sure. Granted, he also 2016 Cavaliers. Come on,
yeah,
uh, that's probably one of the highlights of my basketball career. I never seen anything like that in my life. So it's like it's tough. It's a tough debate right now for me. It's still Braun. I still Braun because I'm a fan. So
yeah.
I'm biased.
Of
I'm
course.
biased. So
That
it's tough.
that
It's
house
tough.
series was amazing, though, wasn't it? I think that was my first actual exposure to the NBA. I felt very fortunate to watch that series. I've watched other series back, but I think what he did for that team against that star on his side, and
I'm
just those
definitely gonna
touch
rewatch.
moments was amazing. Definitely, I think it's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned it because it's like what fuels it for me is I've been watching this on the Bleacher Report. They've got Game of Thrones. It's sort of it's
Yeah.
really funny. It's just this series. But once spoil if anyone's not watched it, but definitely recommend it. It's sort of a mixture of Game of Thrones
Yeah.
and NBA, and it's sort of
It's
been
called
pieces to the GOAT debate.
Game
Like
of Zones. That's what they call it.
Game of Thrones, yeah. The
Oh
seventh
my
series is
god.
definitely better than the Game of Thrones seventh series, but it was really good. Definitely
Yeah.
recommend it. You guys
You
haven't
watch?
watched it.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I watched Game of Thrones. Yeah, I read the book
You watched it?
first, then watched.
Right.
I did.
So
Yeah,
like I
I
watched.
wasn't as critical. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't as critical of the last series as many other people were. I think I was quite aware, but it's always very hard to wrap it up. And I think when he got something like that, where it's been around for so long, fans have their own ideas how they want to finish. It's very hard
Exactly.
to please every fan, and I'd rather
Exactly.
this. I also like Star Wars, and I think the Star Wars last episode, the criticism was there was they tried to please both aspects of fans. Whereas I think Game of Thrones did quite well. They stuck to their idea
Yeah.
and they landed it well.
Yeah. I feel like it
What
had to
what
end.
what are
It
your
had to
thoughts?
It had to end. It had to end. I watched it with my mom. I'm a big fan of it. I loved it. It was great. But I think the reason why Game of Zones is so funny to me because I'm a basketball fan, but I'm also a Game of Thrones fan. So I could relate. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
It ticks both
And
boxes.
they kept
Yeah,
it
yeah,
in the same format where it's like it's hilarious because it's like this actually happened in Game of Thrones. Like this is hilarious, and this is
yeah.
actually happening in the NBA. So it's like
NBA,
it's
yeah.
hilarious. Like it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. It's brilliant. I gotta watch the last one because I heard they incorporated Michael Jordan. And I didn't know that, but man,
Yeah, I always thought it was amazing.
yeah,
Definitely the best episode. Without
sure,
spoiling it, and yeah, it was amazing. Definitely
yeah,
reasonable to watch. I watched it once, and I've rewatched the whole series in one go because I think you have that option. And
mm,
I think it's been going for quite a while. This last series, so I was like, oh, I forgot that episode. But
right,
when you watch them all
exactly,
together, they all sort of it made more sense watching them back. They sort of all lead to the same thing. So that was really good. So definitely, people not watched it, head to watch Game of
yeah.
Thrones. So
And Game of
I don't know
Thrones is
what
a
I watch next.
long series.
Yeah,
It's a long
definitely.
series, man.
Have you read the
So
books or?
no, I haven't read the book. I haven't read the book. I've not read the book. I think my mom read the book, but I haven't read the book. I heard the book is, books are always better than the shows. I feel, in my opinion. So,
You need a
but I think
lot
they
of
did a
time
great
to.
job.
Oh yeah, man, amazing! It was definitely it's changed the face of TV really. That those sort of
Yeah,
it's made things more popular to watch a series. I think you build the character, build the lore more. I think you're seeing people sort of shift away from movies, but that's a totally different show than this basketball. But it's great to get your insights on that too. I've really enjoyed them, and I think
right.
I'll probably rewatch both again. Um, I say really great having you on the show. Great thought, great
Cheers,
discussions.
man.
And I'm
Appreciate it.
sure you're welcome on again if you ever come back on and talk a bit more basketball with me near the season. Some of your thoughts, say you definitely seem quite knowledgeable on your NBL
Appreciate it.
opponents. I'm sure you're previewing the season really well. I thought maybe to finish
Thank
a
you.
bit of advice. So you obviously you coach as well. Maybe some advice to the Hemel
To the
fans,
young,
maybe or people
yeah.
watching about how to stay safe.
Um, First things first, everybody, please stay safe out here. You know, the whole pandemic issues going on. You know, it's unfortunate that I had to leave early. I wish we could finish off the season. Me and Mike was so devastated that happened. You know, we got the news and like when we heard that they closed, you know, the ban and all that, they banned all European flights to the US. We was like, what's going to happen? And literally like the next day, it was like, you got to go. So it's like, you know, it was so sudden. But I enjoyed my time there. I loved every minute of it. It was so much fun. I grew as a man. I grew as a person. It helped me a lot with a lot of things. For the youth, man, keep growing, keep grinding. I'm walking proof of that. I'm walking proof of hard work actually works. Hard work works. That's what we usually say. Hard work works. Um, Keep going, keep pushing. No excuses. You know, for example, we're going through a pandemic right now, but there's still other ways to get better. There's still other ways to become a better player. You know, dribbling your house, you know, tennis balls, whatever the case may be, push-ups, anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming up with different creative ways for me to get better every single day. Whether it's me watching film, me watching you know, highlights of other people, trying to steal different moves from their games and just learning, you know, just being a student of the game. Just kids do that, you know what I'm saying? Love the game, appreciate the game, and I feel like everybody needs to come out of this stronger and more appreciative of what we have, uh, especially the game of basketball because you know we can't play it right now, so it's tough. It's tough. Yeah,
And also, I see you got a printed shirt there, and I came across that brand today. Make sure to plug it a bit, your shirt and the brand behind it while you're on
oh
here.
yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
so,
my man, one of my closest friends, my big brother, Michael
yeah,
Vigilance. This is his brand, Flab, filled with a big blessing. So these are the my fault. No,
yeah.
FWA. Yeah, so Phil with the big blessing is his brand. He's also filled with a big blessing. He's also overseas basketball player as well. He has accomplished a lot. He's played in Asia. He's played in Indonesia. He's played in Vietnam. He's a wonderful guy. He helped me out a lot. That's also another person who has helped me become a better player than I was from before. He also went to Lincoln as well with me. So that's my big brother. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to the Brooklyn Vultures. We'll be playing in the TBT tournament this year. Hopefully, they're holding it this year for us. Representing Brooklyn, I'm Gregory Poleon, obviously. For Hemel Storm, I'll be playing with them this year, this summer. Hopefully, we'll be able to play, God willingly. I mean, that's it, man. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's everything from me and Greg. Thanks for coming on, Greg. Of course, it's been great having you, and wish you all the best in
Appreciate
the
it.
future. Be keeping track of what you do next. I'm sure a lot of people will be, and all the best.
Yeah.
And everyone, take care and stay safe. That's goodbye from me
Take
and
care,
Greg, and
everybody.
have a lovely Friday evening.
Thanks. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
Right.
Keep going what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, man. All right.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.